Well, hello.
Boop, boop. All right, we got some people trickling in right now, so we'll just give it a couple minutes before we get started. What's up, everyone? While we wait for everyone to jump on, for our attendees that are joining us from coast to coast, and hey, even if you're from Hawaii, so that's not coast to coast, that's on the on an island in the coast. Drop a message in the chat. Tell us where you're joining us from. We'd love to hear it out. Let's hear it. Let's see where everyone's from. Uh, for myself, my name's Alex. I am here working at Horizon Trust in our Las Vegas office. Idaho, Texas, welcome, welcome. San Diego, let's go. Carrie, where are you joining us from?
I'm in our office in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Very nice, sir. Chris, how you doing today?
Hi. I'm good.
And where are you coming to us from?
I am in the Las Vegas office.
Very nice, very nice. And Kelsey, say hello to everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome.
Got people from all over the place here.
Wow, we're literally coast to coast in here.
And Hawaii.
And Hawaii. You know what? If no one's from Hawaii in the chat, we got Kelsey from Hawaii also. So, ayo, we're covered. Atlanta. Ooh, Eddie's in Atlanta, folks.
How hot is it, Eddie?
Texas. We got a lot of Texas in here. Arizona.
There's a few Arizonas.
Yeah. Jennifer and Luke joining us from San Jose, California.
Eddie said 82 degrees in Atlanta.
Okay.
It's cooling down here. We were only, what, in the, well, high 80s. What is it in Vegas, guys?
Roughly around the same. Yeah.
Nice.
Temperatures are coming down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's that good time of year.
Right now,
the month. You have a month time frame.
The bearable month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right now is going to be our go outside, enjoy the park for like 3 weeks, and then the cold will come, which I know we're going to get some comments about how Vegas isn't cold. Well, it's cold to us. It's cold to us.
To you, yeah.
96 in Dallas. Wow, David. I think you need to come to Vegas for a visit. The pools are still very nice right now.
I'm sure the pool's nice in Dallas, too. At 96.
That's very true. All right. Looks like we're slowing down on attendees hopping on. So just a couple things, folks, before we do get started with answering your questions. We are going to be here for the hour or as long as we can to answer your questions. Whenever we do start, just go ahead and drop your questions in the chat and we're going to go through there and answer the questions as best we can. If we don't have an answer for you, we did try to do our best to make sure we have everyone from within our Horizon Trust departments. And we'll kind of get into what we each do here at Horizon Trust. And we're trying to make sure we cover everything. So once we get started, again, drop your questions in the chat. We'll go through there and answer those and get them started. But before we do, I do have one brief disclaimer that I do have to share. So I'm going to put that up on the screen at this time. Horizon Trust Company is a passive custodian and as such only performs the duties of a custodian. Horizon Trust Company does not provide advice or sell investments nor offer any tax or legal advice. Thank you all. So the purpose of that is that, yes, Horizon Trust is a passive custodian. What that means is you are bringing over your retirement money to us. We are self-directed, so you make the investments that best suit your needs. So we kind of help you with what the IRS permits you to invest in, and then we kind of proceed accordingly, but always consult your CPA or legal advice or legal counsel for your advice to make sure that what you are doing falls within your retirement needs. So we'll go ahead and get started with the quick introduction. I know we kind of all a little checked in where we were, but just introduction of what we all do. We are the individuals who help process your stuff here at Horizon Trust. My name's Alex. I am in operations and in marketing. I help set up everything, all these webinars. Any of you that have been attending the webinars with Greg and all of our other guests, I am behind the scenes getting that situated. So we hope you guys are attending those. If not, keep joining us. It's a lot of great content and we're working on more and just trying to improve those for you. We'll kick it off to Carrie because just you're right below me in my squares. So Carrie, we'll kick it off over to you. Let us know what you do at Horizon.
Yep, my name's Kerry. I work in the Albuquerque office here in New Mexico. And right now I'm working mostly in compliance as well as asset management. And I handle a lot of the tax reporting, like the 1099s, 5498s, documents that you'll see that gets reported to the IRS and gets sent to you every year. So that's what I do here.
Awesome. Thanks, Carrie. Kelsey, I'm just going around in a circle at this point. Kelsey, let us know what you do.
I'm Kelsey. I am an IRA specialist here at Horizon. So I'm one of the first people that you probably speak with. If you haven't spoken with me, you've spoken with a few of my other colleagues who would be going over, different account types that you would have, what would be set up for you based off of what you have existing. So we'd be, the first people you speak with within our company.
Nice. Welcome, Kelsey. And Chris. How are you doing today, Chris?
I'm great. I'm Chris. I handle your outgoing money. So that could be distributions, that could be investments. We're going through all of the documentation and sending out the funds. So just ensuring that we have all the documentation that's compliant with what we need.
So this is a very solid team, everyone. These are the individuals, like I said, that do handle your day-to-day transactions. So we are right there kind of trying to make sure that your investments, your money, and everything is taken care of and being processed accordingly and within compliance of the IRS and what we're supposed to do, because that is our role as your passive custodian to make sure that the investments are processed correctly and accurately so that you don't get in trouble. So we do our best to ensure that that is what we do. So go ahead and start dropping your questions in the chat. We'll start going through them as best we can. I know that chat's probably going to blow up and we'll try to hit every question as best we can. So one of the questions that I do see here that already came in is from Robin Eschler. Robin says, "Hi, I understand Horizon is able to wire money within 48 hours, but everywhere I've checked who receives the wire says it can take up to 2 weeks to get it resolved. What does that mean and why?" Chris, do you have an understanding of why that is the situation?
For us, we try to send out all funds within the 48-hour time frame. That is our time frame that we have. Sometimes it can take a little bit longer, but for the most part, that's just if the documentation, we need more information from you. So that could be, we don't have the proper funding instructions. We're waiting on that. The account's not funded yet. That could mean that we are waiting for documentation from you, but we try to at least follow up with you within that 2 business days to let you know what is needed, what we needed in order to move forward. And then once we have that, we do our best to try to get the funds back out after that. But at times, because we're having to receive the documentation again, it can reset the time frame. So 2 business days is the typical time frame for us to have everything sent out on our end if everything is considered in good order. But it has to be in good order before we can process. We can't get documentation after the fact and then send the money out first. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. So that's part of the reason why things may delay with money going out and exceeding 2 business days, the 48 hours.
And then just to clarify there, Robin, so that is Horizon's time frame. So we make every effort to get your investments or your documents, your distributions, bill pays, whatever the request for outbound money is. So if we're sending money out of your Horizon Trust account, we try to get everything done within the 2 business days. So that is that 48-hour time frame. However, as Chris mentioned, if you need to, if we need corrections or need additional documentation, that's where that delay might come in. But once that wire is issued, Chris, same day?
Same day.
Same
Yeah,
day.
wires are sent by 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and money is received in the bank account same day. ACH is a little longer.
Perfect. Thank you, Chris. Brenda Deere asked, can you highlight your fees, i.e. Your activation, admin fees, wire and transactional fees? Kelsey, can you kind of talk on that a little bit?
Yeah, of course. So with our fees, it's always going to be less than 1% of your account, or 1% at most. As far as ongoing fees that you'd see with us, it's really just going to be based off of a tiered system, depending on the type of account you have. If you have a 401k, it's a set fee of $750 annually, regardless of market value. If you have an IRA, it's going to be a tiered system. So it really just depends on what you fall in, but 1% will always be the absolute most. And it goes down to the lowest of about 0.003, which is 30 basis points. As far as any recurring fees throughout the year that you'd experience, they're very minimal. We don't charge you for transactional fees. We don't have any asset holding fees. So when you are actually doing business with us, you will not experience a wire fee, ACH, checks, anything like that, whether you are bringing money in, sending money out, taking distributions, making contributions, anything. You won't experience anything like that. The only fees that you may see is, maybe a return check, because that would be a hard fee from our bank, and then a stop payment on a wire. Other than that, we really have no fees that you would typically incur.
Perfect. Thanks for that explanation. Jennifer asked, what's the benefit of a solo 401k and self-directed over a traditional IRA for real estate investing? For example, the ability to borrow against it. And she added further, what are the most important differences between solo 401k and self-directed? Pretty much rephrase the same question.
So I guess that'll be me. Main differences between a 401k and an IRA. So just so you know, they're the same exact type of accounts. The only difference with Herlean is that we are a self-directed company, which means you can invest it in alternative assets. So between the 401k and the IRA, main differences is contribution limits. With a 401k, you typically have a max contribution limit of $66,000. With an IRA, the contribution limit is $6,500. You get an additional contribution as a catch-up if you are 50 or older. And with the 401k loan, you have the option of taking that personal loan against it, which would be 50% of your market value, maxing out a $50,000 loan. Other than that, you can do the same type of investing with both accounts.
Perfect. And how would Jennifer be able to determine what would be best for her? Should she just kind of Google this, or should she book a call with you?
You can always book a call with us, but I mean,
Okay.
if you want to have a general idea, if you are a business owner, a 401k is usually a better option. If you don't have a business, the IRA is the next best option.
Awesome. And then for those of you watching right now, up in the top of the screen here, you do see a text and a phone number. Go ahead and text ASK to 505-636-3730. That's going to give you an automated response. Whether you're a new client or an existing client, you'll select there and be able to book a call with our team. So that way we can go over more specifics about your account, or if you're a new client, about how to set up an account here with Herlean that's best for your particular needs. So as Kelsey mentioned, 401k, you have to be a business owner. So that doesn't necessarily apply to everyone, but our team is here and we're able to answer those questions. So just go ahead and text us and we'll be able to get that taken care of for you and help you out there. So let's kind of move on to the next question there. Sarah asked, can I add a 457 retirement from an old employer to my current account at Herlean? Group
Yes.
effort here? Kelsey,
Sure.
Together, people, yes. As long as it is a retirement plan that you are no longer employed with, you can transfer the funds over to any other IRA company.
That's right. So, so what funds don't qualify to come over to Herlean Trust, Kelsey?
Really, if you're still employed. If you're still employed, you can't move your 401k, 403b, TSP. However, I can disclaim that if you are over 59 and a half, 60, sometimes you are able to take a portion of what you've contributed out as a rollover. So if you are 59 and a half, 60 older, you can always reach out to your employer and ask what you're eligible to take out as an in-service rollover.
Perfect, perfect. Lynn asked, do you handle international housing construction too? Carrie, I feel like this one's pointed right at you.
The international investments, especially real estate, is definitely something that we've seen. You're able to purchase real estate outside of the U.S. As an investment for your plan. A lot of people will actually use a limited liability company set up to do that. You don't have to, but some people like that freedom to go ahead and do. But you're able to do that. I mean, housing construction, I'm not sure what that entails, but you're able to purchase land, construct on it, as long as funds are used through your plan and not personal funds after you purchase that, then that would be fine to do as well.
Perfect. Denise asked, are we able to move cash from a cash account into our self-directed IRA before our 401k yearly max is met?
So that does sound like a contribution to me. I'm not 100% on that, but contribution limits go up to a certain point for the year. So if you have not met that, you're able to add cash as long as you have the income to cover that set amount. So as long as you have compensation enough to cover the amount you're contributing, you can make that contribution.
Perfect. And then now we have another Denise that asked a question. My IRA money went to your company to purchase silver, but I haven't received any correspondence regarding what has happened to the silver after that, nor have I received any copies of the paperwork I have signed, even though I've requested it. Carrie? So for something like this, what should Denise do?
Definitely reach out. It says that she has before. I'm not sure. I can look into this directly. Denise, if you want to email us or give us a call, I can personally look into that. We are more than happy to get you the documents you signed. Confirmed metals have been delivered to the depository. We have reports from our depository every day that we get that shows what we're holding and who holds them and what they are, so we can get that information to you. So I apologize about not getting that to you before, but we can definitely work on making sure that we get that to you.
That's definitely one of the difficult questions, folks. Some of these circumstances are going to be very particular to you individually, but in those instances, definitely reach out to our team. You can email us operations@horizontrust.com or give us a call. Our team is available to help you out and help answer these questions. Like Carrie said, this isn't something that we can really answer at this moment for Denise, but if she reaches out to us, we're more than happy to look into it and try and figure out what's going on with her precious metals. Moving on, Carrie, I believe this one's going to be for you, but Chris, you can probably jump in on this one as well. So let's see, can my self-directed IRA own a building and rent it to an LLC business that I own personally?
Go ahead, Chris. Oh, all right, I'll go. This is getting into legal facts. We definitely want you to talk to a CPA or tax professional. But the fact that your plan is owning a building that you rent to something that you personally own, that seems to me like that would be prohibited. So that's my experience. Obviously, we do want you to talk to a legal professional about that.
Chris, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, so there's a lot of little things that kind of go into looking into an investment. So, but knowing that you may own this personally, that might be something that I would have to ask more questions on, figure out what, more details on this, but there are what's called disqualified parties. Disqualified parties is lineal, like lineal descent. So your grandparents, your parents, your spouse, your children, your grandchildren. Those are all people that the IRS deems as prohibited people or disqualified parties. So essentially, for the most part, I would say the answer, just looking at that one question, it would probably be a no, that you would not be able to invest in that. But there are some little gray areas. So it's more of kind of getting more questions, asking more questions, figuring out what the details are before we just say no, because not everything is black and white. So when it comes to an investment, if you're unsure, always ask, give more detail than you think that you may need to, just so we can kind of evaluate and see what we can do for it.
Perfect. Thank you, Chris.
Mhm.
Todd asked, we have extra funds that are not invested in real estate. Can we buy CDs or just move the funds into a high interest saving account? Does the account have to be in the name of our LLC, or can it be in our personal name as long as it's separate? Carrie, I think for you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options you have, and those two that you said are good options. You can put it into brokerage accounts. You can put it into a high market savings account or high interest savings account. It does have to be either in the name of the Horizon Trust accounts, depending on how your account is structured. If you do have an investment LLC within the plan, which it sounds like you do, then you can go ahead and create an account like at a brokerage account or a savings account in the LLC's name. You definitely don't want to put it in your personal name. The IRS can misconstrue that as a distribution in some points, showing that you put personal or put qualified money into your personal name. So that's our recommendation on that. But it is available to do if you have money left over that you would like to, get a higher return on just than sitting in an account.
Beautiful. Cordy asked, I have a solo K. I only know that I can invest in real estate and I have to put the earnings back. How do I know what else I can invest in? For example, could I invest in producing a comedy show? Cordy, if you're asking that question, yes. Figure out how to do it. I am kidding. I'm going to move to the experts here. I was like, Chris and Carrie, I was like, I'll let you two step in on that. Go for it.
So when it comes to an investment, I always say, well, what is the structure of your investment? So to me, just saying comedy club, to me, or comedy show, absolutely, yeah. But how? How exactly are we going to do it? Because there's so many different ways. Are you investing into the real estate that they're going to have? You're going to buy the property to then rent out to this comedy show? The answer is yes, absolutely. That's something you can definitely do. Is this going to be a private placement memorandum? That's an option. A lot of clients end up doing something like that. Those are really, really common. So the answer is yes. I would also just ask more questions like, are you involved in this comedy show? Is it something that you're going to work? If that's the case, no, then the answer is no, you would not be able to do that investment. So it all depends on what you can do. But for the most part, just asking that one question, I would say yes. The answer is more likely a yes than a no. You can invest into producing a comedy show.
And then just for your own information, Cordy, so if you are here with us at Horizon Trust, we do have our investment corner that is a tool that's only for Horizon Trust clients. It's available on our website, horizontrust.com. If you don't have the password, reach out to us. We can send that over to you. Not a problem. But it gives you variety on what other people at Horizon Trust are investing in and what they're seeing some returns in. So that way you can diversify your portfolio, so you're not just putting all your eggs in one basket. Let's see. Next question I have here is from Todd. If I have my self-directed checkbook LLC set up already and I want to make my annual contribution of $7,000, can I do so directly through my checkbook, or does that have to go through Horizon for the contribution? Carrie?
That does have to come to Horizon first. I know a lot of people have asked me that as well. They want to just kind of cut out the middleman, add money to their LLC when they have it available as a contribution. But we do have to report that. So we have to make sure that we know that how much you've contributed, when, what year, for the calendar year, and even if an IRA, if it's for a previous year or current year, depending on the time frame. So that does have to come to us first, and then we can, with your direction, move it to your LLC. It is a little bit of an extra step, but we want to make sure that it's reported correctly and make sure that there's no problems on the account for the future.
We have a question here from Heather. I feel like there's a little bit more clarification that might be needed, but let's see if we can tackle this one. How do you set up an account if you want to use a percentage to invest in stock like Tesla? Should you withhold taxes? Chris?
Yeah, so we can't directly hold publicly traded stock. So Tesla is a publicly traded stock, but there are options. You definitely have the ability to open a LLC, a checkbook controlled LLC, and invest that way, or to have a brokerage account. So those are two ways that you can have it. You'd be able to hold them directly under those investments, but not directly within your Horizon Trust retirement account. So Tesla would have to be done just through that kind of step, just adding an extra step to it. by creating that LLC or opening that brokerage account. But Tesla it's possible to do it. Definitely possible.
We have a question here from, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to look at the last question. It says, should you withhold taxes? That's the last portion of that unfortunately we can't give you information on. We're not tax advisors to tell you if you should be withholding taxes from anything. That would be something that you would have to determine based on your own circumstances.
Jay asked, how does one go about borrowing from their solo 401k? So let's kind of, I guess, focus the question, because I feel like that's a little open-ended, but we always talk about borrowing from your 401k. So we're going to say it's a loan. So how can I take a loan personally from my 401k? Chris?
Yeah, so that is the only type of account that you can actually borrow money for yourself. So that's a really good question to ask, because, and it's really good investment, I guess, that you should do for yourself if you have a 401k and if you want that option. So simple, everything is form-based with us. We want to have something in writing. So you fill out a form, 401k loan application. You fill that out, submit that to us, and you tell us what the terms of that 401k loan is going to be. You tell us how long of a term that you need it to be for, what the interest rate is going to be, and then you provide an amortization schedule. And if you don't have that or have access to creating one, we can assist you with creating an amortization schedule. So once we have that, then we can go ahead and send the funds, and the funds are going to go directly to the client for them to use for whatever reason they want to. So it's a really good option to have, to be able to have money personally. But the benefit is that that interest rate that you're setting, it actually goes back to your account. You're making money for yourself, which is really nice. So you're increasing the value of that 401k.
Yeah, 401ks are very magical tools, folks. So if you're able to have a 401k, I definitely recommend contacting our team and seeing if that is a good option for you, because it does let you have that one extra thing that you can't have in a traditional or a Roth IRA of the loans. So reach out if that is something that interests you. And we're going to move along here to the next question. Paul Baker, you're going to have to shoot us an email as well regarding this, but I still want to ask this question and get an answer for you right now. So Paul owns land in his IRA. What does he need from us, or what do we need from him for him to sell the property? He's been getting lots of interest.
I'll take that one.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, seems pretty straightforward. The details of the contract or selling options that you have are up to you, actually. So you're in charge of the account and the property, so you're able to discuss with the seller or the buyer the selling amounts. If you want to have a loan or contract or seller finance based on your situation, you can do that. What happens at the time of the sale is what we need. We have a signature request form for any documentation that is needed for the sale. We have to sign off on those documents. Chris actually does a lot of that, but other than that, we will make sure the titling is correct based on, how it should be titled for the seller. And if there's any kind of maybe issues on the contract, we will reach out to you or the title company. But at the time of sale, you are in charge of how you want to sell and who do you want to sell to.
And right now that you mentioned titling, Carrie, so we're going to go with an example that Paul has a Roth IRA with us here at Horizon Trust. How should that titling look for Paul?
Go ahead, Chris. Well, everything, if you're holding an asset within your account, it should be titled under the your account name and not yourself personally. So when we say titling, there's so many different names for it. There's titling, the investor name, the lender name, the borrower, like there's so many different terms for it, but it's basically just listing your account. So it would be Horizon Trust, FBO, the client name, and the type of account. So Paul, I don't know your last name. I didn't, so I don't have it in front of me.
Paul Baker.
Baker.
Yeah.
So Horizon Trust, FBO, Paul Baker, Roth IRA. That would be the titling for the account. And because, as Terry mentioned, we would sign for the documentation for the sale of the asset. Because you personally don't own the asset, your account does. We sign on behalf of your account. So that's why all the documentation comes to us. We ensure that the titling is all correct. We have the documentation that we need, and we will sign off on the documentation and send it back to you and whoever else that you tell us to send it to once you need it. So sometimes it's the title company, the law firm, whoever it needs to go to, we sign it and sends it off. And there's no charge for us to sign documents for you either.
What if I need my document notarized?
We have in-house notaries as well. So there's no additional cost for that either, which is also a benefits plus.
So I'm going to deviate a little bit from the questions for a second there, because like you said, we don't charge for a notary. So Kelsey, what makes us different from other custodians? Like, why should someone come to Horizon Trust as opposed to another self-directed custodian?
I would say if you are really interested in real estate, the real estate market, that is something that most of our client base is involved in. And so I say our fee schedule reflects somebody who's looking to do more real estate transactions in their account, just because with real estate, most of the time, it's not just a one-off. You're not just sending payments one time. If you're maintaining something, it's going to be in and outs, typically monthly, quarterly, and annually. And so our fee schedule, yes, we might have, initial upfront fee, but maintaining your account, holding multiple assets in your account, that over the long haul, I would say it definitely is much more beneficial to hold an account with us. Asset fees range anywhere from $50 to $300 I've seen with other self-directed IRA companies. And that quite literally means you're going to be holding one asset for as long as you hold that asset, and you'll be charged an annual fee each year. So when you get signed on, they may say, yeah, your setup fee is $50, the application fee is $50, and your annual fee will be $400 based off of your market value, but not including every wire transaction you're going to make, every check that gets cut, anytime you need anything signed on behalf of the company. I mean, these are all small miscellaneous fees that you don't take into account, and they definitely add up.
Thank you, Kelsey. Yeah, that's a great point. Let's see. We have Darren who's asked, aren't they both 401ks, solo and self-directed? So I guess we should clarify, what is a self-directed account?
It looks like that Darren and the next one, actually, Cordy is asking, just to clarify, I have a solo K self-directed. So a solo K is basically a self-employed 401k. So you own your own business, no employees, or at least part-time employees, and you're able to create a retirement plan through that self-employment. Now, technically, that does not have to be self-directed. You can have that type of plan at like a brokerage account. You can open that there, and that's something that they may not allow self-directing, or they have a plan for you or a package for you. Self-directing is something Horizon does that is fully self-directed. We don't offer anything. You come in with an idea, most likely to invest, or you get ideas from less traditional investments that most companies don't offer. So they are technically different. Ours are solo 401ks that are self-directed.
Perfect. Thanks, Gary. A couple mixed things here on what is the number. So I don't know if you guys are referring to what is our Horizon Trust call-in number, or the number that you should text to kind of get more information and book a call with our team. So to text us, right at the top of your screen here, you should see the word text ask. So ASK to 505-636-3730. However, if you and that'll be just for you to be able to text us and kind of be able to book a call based on if you're a new client or an existing client of Horizon Trust. If you do want to just call our team because you are already a client, or even if you're not a client, but you just want to speak with someone right now, we do still have people. We are in operating hours, so people are still on the phones answering calls and responding to your emails. So if you want that, that's going to be at phone numbers 888-205-6036. Extension 1 is for our concierge team. They'll be able to answer your questions. However, don't call them now, because we want you guys to stick around here and learn more and listen more to all these questions that are being asked. No, you guys laughing, that just threw me off right there for a second.
You can also email us, operations@horizontrust.com.
There you go. You can also
do that right now.
Do that. Perfect. So we kind of answered Jay's question already. I'm just kind of going down the list. He asked on what percentage his rate should be. Jay, we mentioned that earlier for your 401k loan during that initial question. But Chris, do you want to touch on that real quick?
Yeah. So 401k loan, you actually set your own rate. So the typical rate is prime, right? I believe prime rate right now is about 8%, 8.25. That is the typical rate that you would select. But because this is your account, it's a solo 401k, you guys tell us what you want us to, what you're going to pay back into your own account. So honestly, it varies. It can go up or down from that prime rate. Unfortunately, we can't specifically say, oh, yeah, this is the amount that you should choose. It's more of, let's think about what can you pay back. You're actually going to be paying yourself back. What can you afford? What is going to be that monthly payment that you're going to be able to afford and pay back monthly? So I would just kind of play around with those numbers and see what works best for you to determine what that percentage is going to be. But it should be something that is somewhat in line with what the interest rates are where you find somewhere else. So if you have questions though, with that 401k loan, you can always give us a call and you can always kind of go through things. You can always call in to see what you're eligible for. So it's always an option. You can email, call, and let us know. We'll definitely go through, we can walk you through the form. We can give you more details about it. That's something that we are really good about, trying to help you guys out with filling out the forms and what comes next.
Great point. And like she said, give us a call. So even though we are self-directed and it is pretty much kind of focused on you and what investments work for you, we are here to support you and try to get you through the process as easily as possible. So if something isn't making sense online, shoot us an email, give us a call. We're happy to jump on and kind of talk with you. Carrie, I guess on the scary side of a solo K loan, what happens if, I've now taken this loan, but I've come into a hardship or something and I can't pay back this loan? What are my options?
So that's a little tough. We try to work with you as much as possible on what you can do, how much you can pay. You are able to defer it technically with us. The IRS requires a payment within 3 months. So if you want to take a month off or two that is available, you do have to make up that payment before the end of the term. The term cannot be extended out past the maximum of 5 years. So you can't just tack that on to the back of the loan. So at some point when you get back on track, you'd have to make it up, maybe an extra payment within another month. So there was 2 payments in 1 month. But if you call us and talk to us and let us know what's going on, we are able to cancel a payment for a month if needed. We try to work with you on those and just give you the facts that the IRS requires and that you do need to make that up.
Perfect.
I will, sorry to cut you off, but I will go a little bit more into those 401k loans, just kind of giving you a little bit more information because I do see a question kind of lower down. But 401k loans, you're eligible to take $50,000 or 50% of your account value, but it's whichever is less. So that's how we determine your first eligible amount to see what you can take. So once we have that first rule kind of gone through and we see how much you can take, then we can determine, of course, your monthly payments and the rest of the details. But $50,000 or 50% of your cash account value is how we determine how much you can take, but nothing more than $50,000.
Perfect. Rex asked a great question. I have a solo 401k invested in an LLC, which holds real estate. I would like to make a solo Roth 401k. Do I do that with you, Kelsey?
Yeah, so if you're interested in setting up the Roth portion of the 401k, which by the way, most people don't know you have that option. So just so you know, if you are a business owner and are looking to set up a 401k, you still have the option to have the Roth piece without it being a Roth IRA. You can do a 401k and you can also have a 401k Roth that's attached to the plan. So if you want to set that up, all you have to do is call in and we'll get that done for you. It's very simple.
Perfect. David asked, can you explain how to set up a checking account for managing expenses with a real estate investment?
So
Chris, you want me to take this? Or you got it? You already started.
Yeah, I did. I did already start. So if you're investing directly out of your retirement account, that means that money came directly from that account and you purchased that property. Any expenses that come in will actually have to be paid directly out of your retirement account as well. So that means you would submit to us a bill pay request form with the invoice to tell us exactly how much to pay and where to send it to. Now, if you want to have more control over how you send your money out, how quickly you send it out, who's able to write the checks and access to your money, that would probably be a better situation to set up an LLC. A single member LLC, a checkbook controlled LLC, same thing. But when you do it that way, then you have the ability to be the manager of this LLC. And as the manager of the LLC, you'll be able to write those checks. You'll be able to pay those invoices. You don't have to wait for us to review the documentation and ensure that you have enough cash in the account in order to pay it. As that manager, you can just go ahead and send the funds out when needed. So that's probably one of the best things to have. Well, not necessarily the best. It's one of the easier things to do when you want to be able to have more control for that property. So invoices or expenses could be a water heater broke and you need to replace that really quickly. Well, if you had a single member LLC and you had access to that bank account connected, you'd be able to pay that immediately. Versus you having to send in documentation with the invoice, and then we take our 2-day time period. And I believe our 2 days is really quick. We try to go through everything as soon as possible, send out your money as quick as we can, but sometimes that's not quick enough. So the best way or the quickest way for you to do that is by creating a single member LLC. And that doesn't work for everybody because you may not have a lot of transactions to even have that LLC. But if it's something that you plan on buying multiple properties, lots of different things going on, that might be an option.
That's a great point. And for those of you who didn't get a chance to either attend or watch yet, our video is coming out soon. Greg and Steve Little, who is our president here at Horizon Trust, they jumped on a call on Tuesday talking specifically about checkbook LLCs, how you can utilize them within a self-directed account. So we're going to be sending out that information here shortly. I believe that you might be getting an email out before the end of the day today, and it's going to be listed on that email where you can watch the video and learn more about checkbook LLCs. So that way you can figure out if that is a really good option for you. And if you identify that a checkbook LLC is the good thing, the right path for you in your self-directing needs, then again, you can give us a call. Kelsey or any of our other lovely representatives are able to walk you through setting up that LLC. Moving right along here. Sorry, seems to be my I'm nervous sound effect. So we're just gonna all our way through this webinar.
I'm gonna use that from now on. Watch.
It's gonna be the thing now.
Yeah, please don't call in and be like, yeah, can I speak with No.
Who was that guy that said that?
What's your tagline?
maybe. Let's see. Brandon asked, he's like, I'm thinking of doing some private money lending in real estate industry through the self-directed Roth IRA. Can you share some common pitfalls and some major concerns with that strategy? Chris?
Wow.
Well, hold on. Before that, again, we are not financial advisors. You should definitely consult a CPA or legal counsel for very specifics, but we can touch on it a little bit. So, Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to say a lot of real estate investing, the timing is really important. There's a closing date, things need to be done immediately. So I think one of the common things that happens when you're trying to do an investment in real estate, whether that is to do flipping, to do private money lending for real estate, I think it's just getting the documentation to us as soon as you have it, making sure that that titling that we discussed earlier, making sure that it's in your account's name, is listed within your documentation, and just having all of that kind of grouped together. Even if you don't have the funding available in your account quite yet, you can send documentation over to us for us to review it, make sure it's in good order, and we hold on to that and we check your account every day until we see that cash is available. And then when it is, we can send it out. But I think it's when you have a closing date that is tomorrow and you're sending documents tonight, we're stretching it really thin. Like we have a very tight time frame to get things done. So I think that's one of the biggest things that we're in a time crunch for, and we're trying to scramble to get it done. I mean, a lot of times we get it done. We do our best. But I think just giving yourself more opportunity, kind of setting that time frame out, that's one of the things that would probably help in that kind of transaction. And then I just would always say get as much documentation as you possibly can for this, so we can keep it on file for it. We hold it here. And then if you ever need to go back and ask for something, we have it. You can come back to us for it.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm like, I don't know. Carrie, do you have any other thing to add to
I think you nailed it.
that?
No, I mean, on his side, I think pitfalls and strategy there. I mean, I feel like you know, we can advise you on what you should or shouldn't do, but do your research, look into the companies or anything that you have. If it is real estate, check the security, check what lien holder you are, things like that. It's kind of some basic real estate information, but you know, we always ask that you talk to a CPA.
Yeah. And that's something that Carrie brought up right there. A really good point, guys, is that he said, do your research. So we at Horizon Trust do not research your investments. The only thing we look at is the documentation that you provide to us. And that is what Chris and her team do. They do it very well. So they're always looking at it, and you're probably dreading that phone call when it comes from them. Like, hey, I need a correction.
Don't do that.
But she's doing it to protect your investment and make sure that it's doing it. So she's doing it with love. Let's see. Jay here asks, he's like, if he uses his 401k to purchase a lot for 60,000, so that's 60,000 that he had in his 401k, and he ends up building on the lot, he's like, can I get a non-recourse loan from my 401k to pay for the construction of the house?
You can, yes. It does have to be a non-recourse loan. So meaning that the only thing that is put up for the loan is the property itself. You can't put any kind of personal guarantee. You can't put any personal background checks or anything, or credit history. It does have to be non-recourse, which is they only look at the property and they look at the value of your account to see how much you can put down. Usually at that point, it is a larger down payment and the interest rates can be a little higher, but there are certain companies that can specifically do that for retirement plans. And the good thing about a 401k is there's no UDFI tax on that, which is unrelated debt finance income, which at some points, if you do have debt within a plan, sometimes you owe taxes on the payments that you make.
Thank you. So real quick, guys, before we, I do want to mention this. There are still 70 messages that I have not gotten to even read yet, and we are approaching the end of our hour here. So I'm going to take these questions, and we're going to try to still answer all your questions. We'll make them available somewhere so that you guys can watch this and watch this recording, play it back, get more information about all this, and still get an answer to your question. And if not, you know what? We might just have to do another one, guys. So we'll have to do round two. But let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's see how many more we can answer before the end of the hour.
We're gonna do a rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Okay.
So Crystal asks a very important question in the retirement world. What happens to a house? We can just say asset as well, but a house held as an asset in my SDIRA when I pass away. How do I transfer that to my heirs? And what are the tax implications? Thank you.
All right. So real fast. At that point, it does pass to your beneficiaries listed on your account. So make sure that you have your beneficiaries listed either on your applications or we have a form you can submit to designate your beneficiaries. But if it's not there, it does have to go to your estate. That is a requirement. Even if you have a will or trust, we are required to send that to the estate after you pass, unless you have beneficiaries listed. But at that point, depending on who it is, they can open a new account to hold the assets, or if they choose to distribute it out of the account to personally hold it. That is the options that they can have.
Perfect. Darren asked, I transferred my funds to Horizon in a solo 401k. Can I get a summary cheat sheet of what I can and cannot do within the scope of that program? So
get the long ones at the end.
Yeah. So I guess let's simplify that. What can't you do?
The can't is shorter, right?
Yeah, much shorter. The can't is you can't invest into collectibles, into art, to life insurance for yourself. Those are the big ones. And then you can't interact with disqualified parties. So yourself, that means you're an LLC that you own outside of this. You can't like lend money to that. So those are the can'ts, and I might be missing some. I mean, there's probably a lot more than that, but those are the basics.
Those are the big ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Just stay away from like family members mostly.
Don't stay away from them. Just don't invest with them.
Just don't invest with them.
On our
Depends on how
website,
you like them.
yeah, on our website we do have a section called prohibited transactions. So you can check that out, and it gives you more information on what you cannot do in the account. So our website is really good with a lot of information that you can always go back and check, and you'll see all of that information there. But absolutely, lots of things that you can invest into. Real estate is a big one. Promissory notes, LLCs, private stock. So nothing publicly traded directly. What else? There's some good ones. There's been lots. We've had people that
precious metals is a big one right now too.
Precious metals is a big one. We've even had people investing into equipment recently. Lots of different things. And again, I said before, your investment is just the first part of it, but we have to figure out the structure and what that investment is. So you can say I'm investing into 1, 2, 3 LLC, but how are you investing into them? So I think that's another thing. And on our form to start the investment, the direction of investment form, on there it gives you some of the most common types of investments and what documentation that you'll need for that type of investment. So that's a good tool to look at, just to go on our website and look up the direction of investment form.
How can someone open a brokerage account with us?
So we have actually accounts under Horizon Trust name, and then sub accounts for our clients that want to open brokerage accounts. We work with a company called Axos, and it is a public platform and it is self-directed. So we have a small application to fill out, and we can get an account open there. And then with your request, we can send a certain amount of funds over there to do that. So it's a quick way to do, and it's available to pull back at any time.
Perfect. Once I turn 59 and a half, can I sell my LLC property and buy another property to live in without paying taxes?
Well, that's a lot there in that question.
It is.
You can sell the property, yes, and the funds would have to go back into your LLC or retirement plan. At that point, you can purchase another property. At that point, it still is qualified though, so you would not be able to live into it. In order to live into something that you purchase, it would have to be distributed out of the account. But you are able to sell properties, buy more, flip them to a certain point within the plan. But once it's still in there, or while it's still in there, you still are not eligible to be on the property or live in there.
Do you need to pay back the money spent on a real estate purchase within the IRA? Let's see. It's a very complex
Not sure about that one.
Yeah.
So money spent, which should be expenses, utilities, taxes, insurance, that should all come from the plan as it is. If you have a property, that should all be coming from the plan. There should not be any reimbursements or money paid back. So if that's an issue that's happened where for some reason you've had to pay that out of pocket, we do recommend you talk to a tax professional, because that's not something that you should be doing. But there may be options to get back on track.
Client's asking is, why do I need both Horizon and my LLC forming organization? Don't you do the same thing?
So with that, just so people have it separated, NCH is Nevada Corporate Headquarters. They are a separate company from us. They do more asset protection and business startup. So if you're looking for LLCs, credit, taxes, asset protection, that's where they come in. We are the self-directed custodian that assists their clients looking to self-direct. So we are separated.
Yeah, they are not a custodian. They just help set up those active businesses or investment LLCs. So you still need a custodian to hold your qualified funds in order to use those LLCs that they set up.
Let's see. We have a question from Chaz. He's just saying that he has they're just saying that they have $5,000 in a self-directed account, but need help finding something to invest in, and they want to know where to start. Chaz, if you are a client here at Horizon Trust, visit the investment corner. It's a great resource. It's going to show you other assets that clients are investing in and that they're seeing good returns in, that your 5,000 can go into and work for you. Feel free to reach out to our team. We can provide you that password because it is password protected, because we do only offer that information to our Horizon Trust clients. Let's see here. Sorry, there it is again.
Up.
Mario asked, if I have an LLC that was created for the purpose of a short-term transaction and have a solo 401k with Horizon, I would like to use it to transact from my 401k. What is the process?
So that sounds like he doesn't want to use the LLC anymore.
Sounds like he's repurposing it, which he can't do.
That's what I was thinking. It sounds like it's an existing LLC outside of the account, right?
Yeah.
So let's go with that as the logic. So Chris, why can't I do that?
It was already opened, right? It's an LLC that you own personally. And as we said before, that is something that would be considered prohibited, or you're a disqualified person. So you wouldn't be able to invest into something that was already created for and that you own personally. And also it's already funded. If that account has already been funded, that LLC, we wouldn't be able to use that. So you can definitely invest into another LLC, either one that you're creating specifically for your retirement account, or into a business that is already existing with people who are not considered disqualified. But if it is something that you've already owned, that's a no-go. Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to complete an investment for that.
Okay. Kelsey, I believe this question is going to be for you, but Carrie, feel free to jump in as well. Linda asked, I have a business and I set up a self-directed 401k through Horizon. If I have employees, can they use the business 401k and set up their own accounts?
So I believe we do offer the option for people looking to sponsor a plan. However, they're not going to be self-directed. So I think Carrie can actually expand a little bit better on that.
Yeah, right now an employee plan is something that we are working on. I don't think we actually have it available yet. Right now our solo 401k plans are the only thing that we have plan documents for. We're working with another company to expand on employee 401ks, where if you do have employees that need to be covered by the plan, that they have that option. Right now, if you do have employees, then that would not constitute a solo 401k. And there may be some things that need to be changed. So we do recommend you talk to a CPA as usual, but you can also call us. We want to work with you on the specifics of the plan because we want to know exactly what's going on. So if you can give us a call tomorrow, most likely, and schedule maybe something with me, then we can definitely talk to you about the structure of your plan and what needs to be different. Because right now, if you did have a plan currently with us and you do have employees, that's something that we need to revise.
And last question here before we do jump off, just to mention to everyone else again, feel free to text us or call us, email us. So operations@horizontrust.com. If you want to shoot us an email, give us a call. It's 888-205-6036. That's to give us a call. Or at the top of your screen here, you should see the words to ask or text ask, ASK, to 505-636-3730. And that way you can book a call with our team and we can go over your specific details and your specific needs. The last question here that I did want to ask kind of for the group, I guess, well, not for the group yet. If I have 50K in my self-directed IRA and want to invest in something for 50K, how does that work? So this person wants to use every last penny from their self-directed account. How does that work?
Yeah, that's definitely possible. You can take all cash out of your account for investments or distributions. You can deplete all the funds, the cash funds in the account. The only thing that we do ask is that you leave a credit card on file. The credit card on file is just in case there is an annual fee that's upcoming. You go ahead and leave that there so we can have the annual fee charged. But you can take all the cash out. That's not a problem. But to invest, you fill out a direction of investment form. Fill that form out, you submit your documentation that's related to that document or to that structure, and we'll go ahead and process.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Chris. I want to thank you three for jumping on for our first ever Ask Us Anything webinar. We hope that you guys got a lot of value out of it. It was very fun for us as well. Just in wrap up thoughts here, I guess. What is something that you did to serve our clients today? Chris, we'll start with you.
I got
Putting us on the
everybody's out
spot.
today. Money went out for your investments. Woo!
Send those wires.
Send those
wires
wires.
out.
Let's go. All right, Kelsey.
I had clients who wanted to get involved in an investment that closes tomorrow, so I called them, helped them with the forms, completed their verbal verifications, their two-factor text confirmation, had it prepped for outbound so that they could go ahead and have their wires just sent out tomorrow morning. That's not something we do often, but you know, we do try our best to accommodate if we can.
Great point. Great point. Carrie?
Today I actually saw the client that I talked to. Her name is Erica, but I don't think she's on anymore, but I talked to her today. We're finalizing a split of her account. That's been working on for I think almost a year now, and we're finalizing that and getting that completed. So that felt kind of nice.
Very nice. Very nice. For me, myself, was actually kind of preparing getting this webinar set up. It's been kind of a little endeavor since it was the first one. So it was just figuring out how it was going to work. We seem to do okay, but I know there's room for improvement. So we'll get it. We'll continue improving and making it better so that you guys have good quality content that you can always refer back to. All right. Thank you, team, for attending. I hope you had fun. I had a blast with my little pop. So
Keep it going next time.
We're gonna keep it going for future events. All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you,
Alex. Before we go,
for sure.
Sorry, people here keep asking if you can just reiterate the number to text.
Yeah.
Repeat that because they can't see it on the screen.
I didn't know if we could see it. So yeah, one more time.
All right. Yeah. So you know what? Let me drop it into the chat.
I got it for you.
Everyone. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I was like, so we're going to drop it into the chat. So if you do want that phone number to text us, just text the word ask, ASK, to 505-636-3730. See, and we even did a little bit of testing earlier to try to make sure that worked, and it did not work. Chris, did you post that by chance?
Yeah.
Every time you said it, I was like, am I supposed to see it? Because I don't see it.
Oh, okay.
I put it in the chat to everyone.
Okay.
Okay. No, you're good. Listen,
Mark, I like that, Mark.
Mark, yeah, Mark's calling you out.
I have a lot of messages. No. I have a lot of messages, a lot of questions to get through. That's going to be my project for the next day.
Yeah.
We got to get going faster
and faster.
They're asking, is this going to be sent out again?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All of our webinars that we host here at Horizon Trust, they're going to be recorded, and then we will send those out to you as soon as we can. We try to do that next day, but usually within 2 to 3 business days, you'll get that confirmation letting you know that it's available for you, the replay.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thanks again, everyone.
Mark is my new favorite person.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.